Hi, my name is Katarina Perez. A few dispositions that I feel like I have. Well, I feel like I have 8 out of the 10 dispositions. I have a respect for diversity. I myself come from a diverse family. I'm pretty immersed in diversity. I've coached wrestling. I've coached several different kids. I've been on diverse teams. I've been around diversity a lot. I welcome it. I feel like other cultures have a lot to offer. They add perspective to a situation. They add depth to learning, including students with disabilities. They have a different way of thinking, so I feel like they too have a lot to offer in a classroom. I carry myself very professionally. I'm very punctual. I'm very respectful. I'm very responsible and dependable. I'm always on work on time. I definitely respect my coworkers and their opinions. I'm very open-minded. I definitely like to carry myself at a very high standard because I feel like if you give others respect, then that's when they're going to respect you, including students. I feel like it's very important to be very professional with students and be very courteous with them. Reflection. I self-reflect a lot. I feel like it's very important. I'm always looking on ways to make myself better and to improve. I feel like it's really important to give students the opportunity to reflect on their own work to help them improve. So it's really important to provide them with a lot of feedback. Curiosity. I'm very curious by nature. I enjoy challenging the status quo. Even if I agree with the status quo, I still like to ask those questions just for fun, to push the conversation to a different direction. Definitely add some depth to that conversation, add a whole new perspective. Everybody gets a different understanding of the topic than when they first, came into the conversation. Honesty. I have a lot of integrity. I pride myself on that. It is a core value of mine that I model and I strive to instill in my future students. I feel that dishonesty is, honestly, I feel like it's a disservice to students, to parents, to me, myself. I feel like I can't progress my students if I'm not honest with them. Like, how do you expect a student to progress if you're not giving them honest feedback? If you're telling a student that they're doing awesome when really they're actually failing, that doesn't do anybody any good. That makes me look bad. That takes away from the student, because the student deserves every opportunity to better themselves and to learn. Compassion. I'm a very compassionate person. When I do something, I give it my all. I feel it's important for students to feel like they're a priority and feel like their teacher cares about whether they succeed or not in all endeavors, not just education, but their sports and their hobbies. I'm the type of person that, with my wrestlers that I have now, I ask them how school's going. I ask them how hunting is, all their other hobbies. I feel like that's really important to get to know somebody all around, because there might be a time where they need a metaphor and they're not understanding what you're saying, and you can relate it back to something that they already know. So I'm very compassionate at what I do, and I'm very compassionate about the people that I work with. I want to see them succeed in all aspects, not just their school. Advocacy. I will be the biggest advocate for my students. I am a firm believer in this. At the end of the day, the teacher is the voice for the students. Students really don't have a say in what they're learning or how they're learning it. So I want to be that voice for them. I want to be that mentor and that support system that can help answer their questions, and just to help them improve all the way around, not just in school but in life as well. Students have other things that are going on at home that they may not have anybody to talk to about it, and it might affect them during school. And I feel like it's important to let students know that you're there if they need something, and if it's out of my range on anything I could do, refer them to a counselor, a school counselor, so that they get that help that they need, so that they can have that that support system, so that they don't feel like they're alone, and it just improves their quality of life in general and improves their schoolwork. Dedication. Teaching is definitely a calling of mine. It's been something that I've been wanting to do since I was 5 years old. I would go and grab textbooks that my grandpa would bring home from school, and I would start teaching my brothers. And they were very upset with me about that. But I definitely plan on being at work every single day and on time, ready to go. Make my students excited to learn, make them excited to come to school every day, to get ready to explore and just to learn new things. I'm very dedicated to this, and I'm just really excited to, embark on this journey of mine, doing something that I love to do. But I'm just very excited. With that being said, a couple of dispositions that I feel like I lack right now, and I feel like that is because of experience, would be high expectations and fairness. In general, I have very high expectations for myself because, like I said earlier, I'm always looking for ways to improve because I want to be the best possible teacher that I could be. But realistically, especially when it comes to students, I feel like having certain expectations is something that you develop through hands-on experience. And I think that it varies from student to student because you don't know what kind of students that you're going to get. You don't know if they require more time, if they need, extra help, things like that. I feel like developing realistic expectations comes with experience. So I feel like I'm definitely going to develop that disposition through hands-on experience. The same thing with fairness as well. I believe in equality, equal opportunities for sure. However, I do know that I am going to struggle with this. I want to go in there thinking that I'm going to be the best teacher ever right off the bat, but I do know that that's probably not going to be the case. I'm probably going to struggle a little bit. When it comes to fairness, I'm, going to teach a certain way, and then through reflection, that's where I'm going to learn that I need to change this up to make it fair for all students if they're not understanding maybe some connections that I'm trying to make. That's something that I'm going to develop with experience as well, and also with getting to know my students. Once I learn my students' learning needs and their interests, it's going to definitely be a lot easier to make things more fair. So that would give them the quality of education that they deserve. I think that professional educators carry themselves at a very high standard. They're expected to be the master of the content in the room, and I feel like professional educators definitely carry themselves that way. I believe that they possess all the dispositions, and they're very passionate and effective at what they do. They're also lifelong learners. They're very open-minded. They're open to feedback from co-workers, from administrators, even from their students and parents. I feel like they're very open-minded and very receptive. And I feel like that's a very key thing that all professional educators have in common. And that's how I think that, I think that's what guides them, and that's what, sets them apart from, maybe the not so great educators. I think is the open-mindedness, willingness to learn, willingness to improve, and to develop themselves professionally. Thank you.